Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Live from Arlington, Massachusetts, this is Wisdom of the Sages, a daily spiritual podcast. I'm your host, Raghunath, with co-host and senior educator at the Bhakti Center in New York City, Kastubha Das. Welcome to the show. This is episode 1400. Boom. We should have some type of sound effect. 1400. You're here, everybody. Episode 1400. We're here sitting live with Miss Mara in a Airbnb. You can see a sleeping child on the back. We just came off of a great Wisdom of the Sages gathering last night. It was like an unofficial Wisdom of the Sages gathering because Kastubha wasn't there. But Tom Essig's movie was playing in Boston area, and the whole community showed up. It was so fun. And then we all went to dinner at this vegan restaurant. Really sweet night.
Kind of like Gracias Madre night.
Yeah, like one of these get together with the community. Hung out with Timothy Tucker's family. Tom Essick, of course, was there. Martine. Who else we had there?
Well, the real show was when Tarun blew everyone's minds with his magic tricks over dinner.
Tarun went table to table, blowing people's minds.
Like
I'm surprised he didn't do it from.
Has drained from him now. He's got
all of his power is exhausted. Now he's going to sleep for 4 days. Lori Pack and the Chief were there. It was fun. Yeah, Catherine A was there. It was great.
Oh, Catherine A. Good.
Yeah, it was really sweet. I got to hang out with Martine's husband. She was there.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway.
Good.
Let's see. So, what's going on with you?
Nothing much.
Right.
My life is not nearly as exciting.
Yeah.
And glamorous.
Well, we have a great interview coming up this weekend with Edward Bryant, who is, that is the go-to gold standard Yoga Sutras. You want to read a good copy of the Yoga Sutras, everybody goes to Edwin Bryant. He's academic, but everyone respects him in the yoga community as just like the authoritative commentator on Yoga Sutras. And so he's an old friend of ours, and we're happy to have him on the show again. And then we're trying to arrange a special Janmashtami class with our very good friend Krishna Murari Goswami from Nandagram, who takes care of the original Krishna Balaram deities that Lord Chaitanya discovered in a cave in Nandagram. Very cool guy.
And handed down the family for generation after generation.
Like 800 years or something like this.
He's a real Vrindavan resident. They're special people.
Especially. He was in that film yesterday, too, doing that dance, doing his mystical Brijbasi dance for us. Okay.
So we'll celebrate Krishna's birthday that way on Monday, yeah?
Yeah. Krishna's birthday is Monday. So if you're in the New York area, you got to go to the Bhakti Center, or you got to go to the Radha Govinda, or find a temple in your town. But it's a special day to hear and chant and read a little bit more, get into Krishna's appearance, the advent of Lord Krishna. They call it in the Krishna book. Also, we want to give a shout out to two of our founding members of the BRG, which is Jiva G and Nancy Rothman. These guys have done so much service for us. We love them. And yeah, they're just great members. I don't know if Nancy Rothman's ever missed a show. She's up there with one of those never missed a show. Not only never missed a show, like never missed a show on Zoom. It's quite impressive. These people have seen all 1,400 episodes. But I just want to thank these two for just being beautiful community members. And like we said,
of many people.
Touching the lives of a lot of people. And this podcast is becoming much bigger than a podcast. It's like an interesting family desperately trying to become a very functional family. A lot of us grew up in dysfunctional families. This is our chance, our chance to do a do-over. So it was great to have everybody last night. Happy birthday to these two great givers. And let's go into today's nugget. What do you think? Any other announcements, Miss Mayor? Oh, Mayor's got something important to say here.
Join Wisdom of the Sages for our spiritual pilgrimage to sacred India, October 17th through 31st. We're going to Udaipur, Rishikesh, Haridwar, and Govardhan, Vrindavan. Go to wisdomofthesages.com to sign up or raghunath.yoga. Also, our Sage group signups end on August 26th. So if you want to be in a Sage group for this session going September through December, sign up at wisdomofthesages.com.
There's still some good spots open, although it's like about 85% full now. I saw there's 4 slots open at Haryashva's on Thursday night. I mean, that's a good one to be in, right? Very entertaining and loving.
Oh, we're talking about Sage groups.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why
Yeah, if you're not in Haryash.
confused at me.
I was like, Rishikesh is full. What? Get in Haryashvas. Yeah, Sage group. Haryashva's the best.
Sage group, man. There's others that have a few spots left in it still too.
Well, Karuna's shaming me again. Raghu, are you doing a dry fast on Janmashtami? At least no coffee.
Oh,
Oh.
She's looking out for you. That's your friend right there.
Is it?
Yeah, that's your friend.
Okay.
Is it? Yes.
Yeah, I think I might do a dry fast, my friend. Karuna, what do you think about that? Janmashtami traditionally is an all-day fast, and then you feast at midnight, which I always find puts my body in shock. I can't do that. If I'm going to fast all the...
You break the fast. You don't necessarily feast.
You don't have to feast? Okay, maybe I just like to feast. And because they make so many preparations for Krishna. You know, we should do something special on Tuesday for Prabhupada's
Of course we have to.
appearance.
Yeah,
Well, maybe get a special guest.
maybe.
Anyway, let's figure this one out. This is good. Okay.
What's the nugget? Who's it from?
This is from a person I even know. What do you think about that?
I'm surprised. I thought you might not know this one.
Well, this is my era, Prabhu.
Okay.
Tom Landry. Tom Landry. He was the well-dressed coach of the Dallas Cowboys.
Coaches used to dress nice, like they wore suits. He would always have like
Not necessarily, but he did.
Well, more so now they all wear like athletic kind of
Outfits.
garb, you know, like
There was some. Yeah. He wore a suit and a hat.
Yeah,
Tom
he looked
Landry.
like serious out there.
Well, it was like a detective who's walking around on the football field.
But you know, back then, I had an uncle that was a professional football player.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, his name was Buzz Guy, and he played for the New York Giants back when they would win before the Super Bowls. You know, when they would win the championships.
Yeah.
And I think Tom Landry was. I think he may have been if he wasn't the head coach, he was like a coach. I think first he was under Vince Lombardi, I believe. And then he was with the New York Giants. And I think my uncle followed him. What, do you want to take out your squirrel?
I don't have my squirrel with me.
Anytime I
Can you
start
pack the
speaking,
squirrel?
here's something you don't realize, Ragnar. That when telling a story is okay, as long as it's related to the point, then it's not a squirrel. Okay.
All right, keep it going.
So anyway, my uncle went with Tom Landry from the New York Giants to the Dallas Cowboys when they first started. Like there was a new team, and he really had respect for Tom Landry. These are back when the coach was like he was kind of like not just the head coach, but like the moral authority of like the team. You know.
Yeah, they were
Like
like the inspiration.
Inspiration, but they were really like they had a dignity about them, you know, and the players would really respect the coaches. And Tom Landry was like a great example of that from everything that I've ever heard about him.
Here's a squirrel that I find interesting. Do you know what Super Bowl it is this year?
The number of the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
No idea.
I'm going to give you a way that you will never forget.
Okay.
The Super Bowl started on our birthday.
Oh, so it's 66 coming up, huh?
No, 66.
Oh,
It's 58.
That was
58. We're
right?
58
Sorry,
years old. We were
58,
born in
right.
66.
Yeah, right. Thank
I
you for
always
helping me
know what
figure that
Super
one
Bowl
out.
it is.
That's like one of those things when they say, like, if you were born 9 years ago, Raghunath, what year were you born?
66.
And how old are you now?
58.
Okay, and if you were born 9 years ago, how old would you be?
Tarun just did this joke to me yesterday. I'd be
Gotcha.
9 years. I'd be 9 years old.
Yeah.
Say it again so everyone gets that joke. If you were born 9
I,
years
I
ago,
think
how
you
old
got to
would you
throw a
be?
little like at the beginning part is just to kind of get you thrown off, right?
I know he
Where
got
you're born.
he got me yesterday. I was like 52.
If you're born
That's
nine.
so weird. He did the exact same joke.
Yeah, that's funny.
Okay, let's get serious about
What's
life
Tom
right
Landry
now.
have to say?
Tom Landry. It's as if we're in the locker room with him right now.
Oh yeah.
Here he is. Coach is someone who tells you what you don't want to hear, who has you see what you don't want to see, so you can be who you have always known you could be.
Oh, okay.
That's pretty beautiful.
You like that, huh?
A coach is someone who tells you what you don't want to hear. Oh, maybe I'm your coach, Mayor. Just kidding.
Doesn't just mean you talk about nonsense. Like I don't want
Maybe
to hear that.
Karun is my coach.
Yeah, I
Got a
think that's what I
10-year-old
was saying.
coach
She's your
here.
friend.
A coach is someone who tells you what you don't want to hear, who has you see what you don't want to see, so you can be who you have always known you could be.
Yeah, there's a potential in all of us, right? That's
And at this
unmet.
point, I'm going to sell you my life coaching course for a mere $19,999.
Now, tell me what you think about this quote, though, for real.
It's great. It's like we all suffer from a blind side, a blind spot, so to speak.
Mhm.
And even though, we say, Lord Chaitanya says, we shouldn't criticize, we invest in a person who has greater vision than us to
Right.
not to critique us and to give us feedback. To say, hey, you played that move wrong. You stepped wrong there. We need people in our life that we can trust, that we feel this person doesn't have any motive. They're not trying to just cut me down for their own
Right.
ego. They actually want to see me grow. So when you have very loving people in your life that you can trust, we should go to them and say, what do you think about this? Here's what I'm thinking. And we should invite that type of criticism. I don't like to even call it criticism, but sometimes it can come off like that.
Constructive criticism.
It's instructive, and we need that. It is important to develop and a good teacher won't make you so dependent on the teacher. A good teacher will teach you how to think instead of what to think. And so they'll help you develop your discernment. And that's what Sri Guru is. Sri Guru will help you discern and learn how to think. But we have to first admit we have some blind spots, and we invite that into our life because we want to grow.
Mm.
You
Y-
know, I have a
I'm with
blonde.
you.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm with you.
What do you
You know,
think?
I was thinking we're going to hear today about this principle of the guru in the life of the practitioner. You know, and there's so many statements about the guru. The guru, it's saying guru tattva, understanding the truth about this principle of guru. Like what guru is. They say it's a very subtle topic.
Mm.
There's a very practical end to it, and I think we can discuss that a bit right now. If in any field, if there's someone that's more experienced than you, it's going to be helpful for you. And if you have a trainer and a really good one, let's discuss the practical end. But there's also like, I don't know if mystical is the right word that I'm looking for, but let's say beyond the practical. There's this transcendent element in the guru, which it's multifaceted, but a lot of it has to do with the idea that, on this esoteric side of bhakti, we say that there's this very special idea that God becomes submissive to the love of those that love him. And so if the guru has love for God, like genuine, then God becomes subservient to them. So if the guru, on one hand, has influence over the heart of God, and on the other hand, within their own heart, they have a genuine concern for your spiritual growth, then God becomes directly involved in your own spiritual growth. Like it's a very special type of grace that's available through a person that has love of God, But even just taking it down to the practical level, let's talk about coaches. Like there's all the, it's I guess it's a common film kind of genre or something, where you have like these sports films, and there'll be a coach and the team will be kind of down at halftime or something like that, and all these guys with all these big egos are all in that
Mm,
locker room, you know,
mm,
and their problem is, that they all had these egos thinking they're so great, but then when the real test came, they weren't able to perform as a team because their egos are getting in the way. They may even be talented, but they weren't able to put their egos aside and work together. And you have a coach that now they're coming off that field and they all have lost their faith that they can actually succeed. And the coach can actually see what their potential is, but he may have to tell them a few things that they don't want to hear, and he's going to spell it out like this is why it's not working. I can see what you can be and I can see why you're not achieving it. And if you just hear me, if you just set your ego aside and just hear me, I can take you to the other side, you know. And then, generally the story plays out that they manage to do that and they succeed and so on. But this, in a sense, this is also what a guru is. They're a person like that. Coach will be the only one that still has the conviction that we can win. They've all kind of lost it and their whole morale is shattered. A guru is someone that has this rock solid conviction about the power of bhakti, about the power of bhakti yoga and how it works. Even when we're feeling like, oh, I'll never make it, I could never make it, it's too hard, no, 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 I know how it works, and I have no doubts about it. And if you simply follow, and we're like those athletes who've lost their morale in life. We go through life, there's so many struggles. We struggle with our mind, we struggle with our senses, we struggle in our environments and in our relationships, and it's not at all difficult, and I've been chanting these mantras for so long, and I don't think it's working, I'm not transforming. And
mm.
and the coach, the guru is someone that can say, no, 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 I know how the process works. There's a few things you need to tighten up, and you need to set aside some of these petty things that are in your minds, and it will work. So you need someone that's going to take you to that other side. And also someone like the coach is the person that really has knowledge of the game. They don't just have the talent that a player might have, but they really understand how the game works. And, the guru really understands how the process of bhakti works. They have the knowledge of it. They have the realization of it, far better than we have ourselves. And that becomes so important in their ability to instruct us. And they have these deeper insights, So you learn to follow that. We were talking yesterday about people that they're kind of guru figures, but then they, because they begin to try to enjoy the results that come from that, all
Mm.
of their spiritual merit just kind of,
Their character
yeah,
diminishes.
it diminishes.
Imagine
But
if Tom Landry was doing that. You'd
well,
lose
many
all
coaches
respect
do it.
for him.
Yeah, many of these coaches,
He's
do.
got like the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders. All right, she's mine. And people would be like, what's going on, Tom? You'd lose
A lot.
respect. You have to hold that position with integrity.
A lot of those coaches are real serious Christians, and I believe Tom Landry was, and their spiritual life kind of
Mm.
played out in their role as a coach. But they say, I
Yeah.
think we quoted this verse the other day,
Yeah,
Yasya deve para bhaktir, yata deve tata garo, tasyaita katita hyarta prakashante mahatmana, that um, for those great souls, those Mahatmas, who have this deep implicit faith and devotion to God and to Guru, to both, to
Mm.
them, all the imports of the Vedic literature, it all becomes automatically revealed through that one step, just that one step, like by faith in a valid, bona fide guru. It kind of,
Mm.
it's like doing everything, you get everything in one place, Very powerful principle.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, so let's take this to the Bhagavatam, the same principle. Hear what the Bhagavatam says about gurus, teachers, etc. They get a lot of flack nowadays to be a guru.
They gotta do it right.
Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam udire. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is ever a means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances to the Supreme Lord Narayan, unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, and to Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and to Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nasta prayeshva bhadreshu nityam bhagavat sevaya bhagavati utamashloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. By regular attendance in classes in the Bhagavatam and by rendering service to the pure devotees, all that is troublesome to the heart will become eradicated. And loving service to the Supreme Lord, who is praised with transcendental songs, will be established as an irrevocable fact. Om Jnana Timarandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmanitam Nena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance, and my teachers are opening my eyes with a torchlight of knowledge. I offer my obeisances at their lotus feet. Reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 15, Text 23.
Yeah. We're hearing a list now of anarthas, unwanted things in the heart, desires, drives,
Oh, yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Things that wreck you as a being. Okay, this is text 23.
Yeah.
By discussing spiritual knowledge, one can conquer lamentation and illusion. By serving a great devotee, one can become prideless. And by keeping silent, one can avoid obstacles on the path of mystic yoga. See, that's why my mystic yoga hasn't developed. And simply by stopping sense gratification, one can conquer envy.
Okay, nice. Prabhupada gives a little. He focuses on one in the commentary. You know, this by discussing spiritual knowledge, one can conquer lamentation and illusion. And he just gives an example. You know, like if one's son has died, one may certainly be affected by lamentation and illusion. One of the most painful things in life, right? And the cry for the dead son. But one may overcome lamentation and illusion by considering the verses of the Bhagavad Gita, you know, that talk about the eternality of the soul. And so, yeah, it's just, you know, through that kind of reflection, we need to reflect in life. We need to hear and reflect, discuss. You there? You're frozen. Am I frozen or are you frozen? I think we lost Raghu. Henry's moving around, so okay, it's him that's frozen. That was
Hey,
text.
Kasub.
Oh yeah, you're back.
I've got a bad connection.
Okay.
Did you hear me at all talking about text 23 or no?
No.
Did you
Go
hear me
ahead.
read it or did you end up reading
No,
it?
we heard you read it.
Okay. Text 24. By good behavior and freedom from envy, one should counteract sufferings due to other living entities. By meditation in trance, one should counteract sufferings due to providence. By practicing hatha yoga, pranayama, and so forth, one should counteract sufferings due to the body and mind. Similarly, by developing the mode of goodness, especially in regard to eating, one should conquer sleep.
Okay.
Pretty interesting. These are all pretty interesting, actually.
They're little seeds, you know.
Little pro tips.
Yeah.
Pro tips of how to live uh, a better life, be a better you. Text 25. One must conquer the modes of passion and ignorance by developing the mode of goodness. Then one must become detached from the mode of goodness by promoting oneself to the platform of Shuddha Sattva.
Okay.
And that's pure goodness. All this can be automatically done if one engages in the service of the spiritual master with faith and devotion. In this way, one can conquer the influence of the gunas or the modes of nature.
Mm. They say that principle is social. You know, it began by saying one must conquer the modes of passion and ignorance, the lower modes, by cultivating the mode of goodness, sattva guna, you know, the higher mode, right? And then, but still, we say that even the mode of goodness is a trap.
Yeah. It's a
But
golden handcuff.
it's a golden handcuff. Yeah, yeah. And then it says that one must become detached from the mode of goodness and the results that it delivers, right? Like a peaceful, kind of content life, you know. But then one must become detached from the mode of goodness by promoting oneself to the platform of Shuddha Sattva. One really needs to hear about the spiritual platform, you know. cultivate that. And that can be done most effectively and most one-pointedly by being engaged in the service of someone who's mastered bhakti yoga, a spiritual master with faith and devotion. Yeah, I think I shared with you once, Raghunath, right? When I was reading this book called the Samudra Shastra.
Yeah, that's the palm reading.
Yeah, palm reading. And it was mentioning, there's certain lines on the hand that indicate how many children you're meant to have.
Yeah. How many do you have on your hand?
Well,
How
it
many
doesn't matter.
children do you have? How many children do you?
It doesn't matter but then what it went on to say, but even that can be changed through Guru Nishta, through being fixed in the service of the Guru.
Hmm.
It's just one very, again, for the practical reasons, as we're discussing, someone who's got that complete conviction, those deep insights, there's knowledge about how to follow the path. If you just follow them,
That, that
it all
faith in Guru.
works. Yeah, you got all these mental ideas. Maybe this won't work. Maybe this is a better idea. Maybe I should be doing this. Maybe I'm more like that. And if you just follow,
Transcend your karma.
you can transcend it all. What to speak of the special blessings that can come to serving someone that's very dear to Krishna.
Same
So
with astrological marriage compatibility. If you feel
go
like, well,
right
we're
through to
in
marriage compatibility. That's right.
right, yeah, you just focus on service to Guru and the Srimad Bhagavatam and the Bhagavad Gita, and you can transcend any incompatibility you have.
Mm.
Keep that as the center.
Yeah. It's always praised in these texts, and again, we could go on and on about the misunderstanding of what this relationship is, or the misunderstanding, the misapplication. It's been so misapplied. Just because there's a lot of counterfeit out there doesn't mean that it doesn't really exist. You and I have had the good fortune, to be able to, in our own lives and in the lives of many around us, see the principle work well.
Yeah, we have.
We've had our chance of seeing how sometimes it falls apart, but we've also had plenty of experience of seeing how it works well. Something
Just
that
had
you want to be educated
impressive
on.
people in our life.
Yeah. When you see how it works well, then you can see, okay, I get the scandal. It makes total sense to me why
Scandals
that all fell
real.
apart.
Scandals happen.
Yeah, and it also makes sense to me how this is a very powerful dynamic element of the practice of bhakti yoga.
Hmm. All right. Continuing on, text 26. The spiritual master should be considered to be directly the supreme Lord. That's a heavy statement because we always say they are not God.
Yeah.
Right. So here's a very tricky statement here.
Mhm.
The spiritual master should be considered to be directly the supreme Lord because he gives transcendental knowledge for enlightenment. Consequently, for one who maintains the material conception that the spiritual master is an ordinary human being, everything is frustrated. His enlightenment and his Vedic studies and knowledge are all like a bathing of an elephant. So that analogy, if you're unfamiliar with elephants, that analogy is an elephant will take a bath. When do we take a bath? We take a bath when we're dirty. An elephant will take a bath. He'll become, quote, clean, but then he'll immediately throw dirt back on his body again. It's just a ritual elephants do. So it's saying here that one who maintains the material conception that the spiritual master is ordinary. Everything's frustrated.
All of their practices.
So we do accept that the guru is not God. She or he is not God, but they're giving you the instructions from God because it is baked in them of behavior and thoughts and the importance of ritual, the substance behind ritual, the meditational practice. So we're giving them that authority.
Yeah, it's kind of like the guru. The idea is the power of God is working through the guru. It's flowing through them.
Sure.
And so just like consider like if you have a president of a country, they empower the ambassador, right? The ambassador goes to another country, and the ambassador is not the president, but they're as good as the president,
Yeah.
because they've been empowered by that president. They represent that president. So when they're greeted with the same kind of respect that they
Sure.
would show the president of that country. Now, imagine if you want to have a good relationship with that president, but you totally blow off that ambassador. It's like it won't work. It doesn't even no matter how well you're doing what you do, your connection is through that ambassador. And so similarly, it's the guru is empowered by God. They're representing. It's not that, and the nature of that one really has to understand, because that guru is, their whole idea is, I'm not special. I'm not God. I haven't created something new. I'm just the representative. Like the ambassador knows, I'm not the president. I don't rule the country. I'm just the representative. So they're thinking like that. And those that are relating to him are thinking like the president is working right through, the president is flowing right through this person, So it's something like that.
Yes, he gives the authority. Anyway, your analogy was good enough. I'm not going to elaborate. Okay.
You were out late last night, right? That's okay.
The Supreme Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, is the master of all other living entities, and of the material nature. His lotus feet are sought and worshipped by great saintly persons like Vyas. Nonetheless, there are fools who consider Lord Krishna an ordinary human being.
Yeah.
Ritualistic ceremonies, regulative principles, austerities, and the practice of yoga are all meant to control the senses and mind. But even after one is able to control the senses and mind, if he does not come to the point of meditation upon the Supreme Lord, all such activities are simply labor in frustration.
This is, again, Vyas framing out the conversation, right? We may do all the rituals of the Vedas. We may get inspired to renounce and go into meditation by different texts on jnana and yoga. But the whole mission at the end of the path is the connection with that supreme loving being who's the source of it all. And if we never turn to, if our ego prevents us from turning in that direction, then it's just kind of like spinning our wheels. It's kind of like lots of work that never connects. Like you could, sometimes a car gets stuck in some kind of gully and the wheels spin.
Yeah.
But there's no traction. So, our wheels of ritual, our wheels of meditation may be spinning like crazy, but there's no traction. It doesn't move forward, actually.
Text 29. As professional activities or business profits cannot help one in spiritual advancement, but are a source of entanglement, the Vedic ritualistic ceremonies cannot help anyone who is not a devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Oh.
That's such a straightforward statement, huh?
Yeah. It's all, the Bhagavatam is just so special because it's answering all our questions. I thought the rituals of the Vedas, being dharmic, doing your duty in Varnashram Dharma, being a good teacher or a good worker or a good leader or a good business owner, you do all that, you do the right rituals, and you enjoy the benefits of life. I thought that's what the Vedas are pointing to. No,
Yeah.
that's just a step. That's one rung on the ladder. But the ladder leads to this connection, this beautiful personal love, the love that we're all looking for, that we'll always feel incomplete without, is only found there.
All right. One who desires to conquer the mind must leave the company of his family and live in a solitary place, free from contaminated association. To maintain the body and soul together, they should beg as much as they need for the bare necessities of life. Basically, we need to do something. What did I post yesterday? Nothing will change if we don't change. Nothing changes if nothing changes if nothing changes. Nothing changes if nothing changes. So there needs to be some difference. And if you're not going to just zip it up and walk away from your life, like you and I did, we walked sort of away from our life. That's not necessarily everybody's path, but they have to walk away from old behaviors almost like old conversations, what they enjoyed in that conversation. They have to walk away with a different, they have to walk away with a different mindset, a different relationship to the world. It has that can be cultivated internally as well.
Mm-hmm. It must
What
be.
you what you looking at?
Just checking out this little just
What you
checking
looking
up on
at?
some of these verses. Yeah.
Okay.
This is my
Oh, your Bhagavad Shubodhini.
yeah,
Sounds Italian, doesn't it? Yeah, Shubodhini.
Subodhini.
Shubodhini. You got a cannoli and a Shubodhini.
All right, want to keep going?
That's a great verse, isn't it? My dear king, in a sacred and holy place of pilgrimage, one should select a place in which to perform yoga. The place must be level and not too high or low. There, one should sit very comfortably, being steady and equipoised, keeping their body straight, and thus begin chanting the Vedic pranava.
Okay, we're hearing about kind of more the mystic yoga, the Raja yoga here, the Ashtanga yoga practices.
While continuously staring at the tip of the nose, a learned yogi practices the breathing exercises through the technical means known as Uraka, Kumbhaka, and Rechaka.
Mhm.
That's the
Inhale, the
retention.
exhale, the holding of the breath.
Yeah, the inhaling and the exhaling and the retention. And that's what it says, controlling inhalation and exhalation and then stopping them both. In this way, the yogi restricts his mind from material attachment and gives up all mental desires. As soon as the mind, being defeated by lusty desires, drifts towards feelings of sense gratification, the yogi should immediately bring it back and arrest it within the core of his heart. That's a big thing. We start to notice that the mind wanders when we're very focused on what we're thinking about, what we're talking about, what's bleeding out of our mouth, then we start to notice the mind is almost like this naughty child that we have that keeps like whatever, this is stealing candy or going into the pantry, robbing a some little goodie snack or something like that, or in a candy store. The child is constantly taking candy. We have to notice our mind. Look where my mind is going. Look what my mind is thinking. Look what my mind is saying. Why does my mind go there? And you got to catch it and say, no, 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 get back here. Come back over here. And it's a whole process of catching, not just catching it and bringing it back, but changing it to an appropriate behavior. There's an appropriate
Re-engaging.
way for the mind to behave.
Yeah. When you and I were young, relatively young, we got the opportunity to kind of get all caught up in this practice and this mission, and there were kind of men that we admired that were practicing it, and it just kind of fully absorbed our time, and in that way it absorbed our mind, and we kind of learned to control the mind then, in ways that are with us still. I think without that, it would feel like it's impossible to control the mind. It would feel like, come on, man, like the eyes want to go where the eyes want to go, and the mind wants to go where the mind wants to go, and
Then you come
even
up
if
with theories like, well, maybe you should just give in. Let it
it's
go.
unhealthy to resist this,
See, you're
it's
you're you're creating frustration and you're burying your feelings. You got to just let your mind do what it wants to do, and that can mean anything. You've been brought up with a tight rope around your desires. Free yourself
Let
from
it
those
go.
ropes, born of patriarchy, Christianity, leftovers. You're a free being, Kastuba. Let me help you. Be
Okay.
your own guru, which is really saying, let me be your guru, or let your senses be your guru.
Yeah.
People
Yeah.
talk like this all the time.
Well, if you don't have that if you don't get some kind of training and some kind of help in how to do it in a positive way, it
Yeah.
likely will manifest in all kinds of frustration and
Repression and
self-loathing and all of that. But there is a right way to do it. Just because there's a wrong way to do it doesn't mean that there's not a right way to do it.
the difference is between to sublimate and subjugate.
Oh,
You like
okay.
this?
Yeah.
Wordsmithing? When we
Sublimate,
sublimate, we take some of that
re-engage it.
lower passion and we bring it to a higher place.
Right.
We're not
That's
just trying to
it's
like
crushing it.
bury our feelings or bury our emotions or bury our drives. We're trying to bring them to a higher place.
Nice.
Like
I
that?
like that.
Yeah, I got a lot of stuff like that. If you like it, you can keep it and use it. You don't even have to give me credit, but you can.
All right. Just give me money.
Just give me a little percentage.
Yeah, and here's a clue. This is like it's so important. And it may be something that you can pick up in other realms and then apply it in terms of controlling the mind. But the fact is that when you like for instance, I think especially now that we have such short attention spans, that have been deteriorated due to the media that we're c- constantly, I think,
Consuming
caught up
on
in.
a regular basis in the
Yeah, so when
bathroom.
people try to read a book, it's hard to read a book.
It's hard to read a book. People don't read
They
books.
they may get a page and a half in and just be like, I'm not into this. But if you kind of just stick with it just for a little bit, you kind of get over the hump. And then it gets,
Tarun has been
yeah,
reading an hour a day
it's
of
great.
Mahabharata.
Yeah.
Love it.
And so that principle is there. It seems impossible. It just takes a little momentum and you
Yeah.
get past it. Controlling the mind is like that too. It seems like it's going to be impossible not to check out every girl that's walking down the street. It's going to be impossible not to sexually fantasize about every girl I see. It's going to be it's going to be impossible not to keep walking to that refrigerator. It's going to be it's like it seems so hard, but there's a certain threshold that you cross not even that far down the line if you just have faith,
Yeah.
and it becomes not exactly easy, but much easier
Well,
to
I've been
control the mind, to control
dreading,
one's thoughts.
for some reason, I've been dreading getting on my bicycle this year. Um,
Dreading
dreading it. And so then I have a very small little loop I do, which is sort of like I take a left out of Super Soul driveway. It's a small loop. It only takes it's like 6 miles.
it.
Um, and after doing that for a week, I was like, you know what? I'm ready to do the
Ted.
real miserable loop, which starts off going up Schilling's Crossing, up, take a right out of the driveway. And it is just like a hill to a hill to a hill. And I tell you, every morning I was like, I don't want to do this. And then I love life. And it's exhausting and wonderful and miserable. And you got to go slow. Just like right now, I'm actually lamenting I'm not at home to do this loop. I'm going to do it later in the day. But it's one of those things. You just discipline, and all of a sudden your thoughts and your mind and your fighting senses have become tamed.
Right.
Just like a dog, a
And
mean dog that's been tamed.
and finally you're coming out, the real you, not just the tamed, conquered you,
No.
but the
And from a one good choice, you get a second good choice. So that's forced me to eat a little cleaner, eat a little better. And
ah,
now for like John Mastami, I'm like eager. Yeah, I'm like eager to fast on John Mastami. You know,
nice.
it's just like one thing leads to, if you're in indulgence mode, then you hear about Ekadasi, which is a fast day, or if you hear about a holy day like John Mastami, which is a fasting day, you become like, oh, how can I? You're trying to figure out how can I? Well, I'll do a sort of fast. I'll do a little bit of. I'll fast for 3 hours. How about that? Is that good enough? That's something. I'll chant some extra rounds. Don't make me fast all day.
Yeah,
So from one good choice leads to other good choices. And you develop that muscle.
there you go. To have faith, have hope, you can do it. And again, to have that guru there,
You
to have
can
that
too.
person that
You
you
can too.
admire, huh?
You
What's that?
can too.
But I'm saying to have that guru there, that person that instructs you to do it. Like, it's different when you just decide I'm going to do it on my own, or when that person that you deeply admire says, okay, do this now. And within you, there's like that kind of inner child that like, okay, yes, I'm going to do it. I want to please them. I want to, I'm encouraged by them. That instructions become special and is a little enshrined in my heart now. It gives you power.
Mm,
It's a blessing. It gives you power to do what you thought you like. That's where we started, right? Where the coach is like saying a few things that are a little hard to hear so that we can become what we're meant to become.
right.
It's a
Very cool.
powerful, powerful principle.
Okay, let's see if we can get another in. My dear king, in a sacred and holy place of pilgrimage, one should select a place to. Oh, we did that. Sorry.
No, we
32
didn't.
and 33. While continuously staring at the tip of their nose. We did this one too, didn't
Did
we?
we?
Yeah, Rachika Purika. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
text 34.
Yeah.
See, Mara's not zipping the
Oh, it's Mara's fault.
quote
Huh?
to the top of the page today.
What
When
is
the
it?
yogi regularly practices in this way, in a short time, their heart becomes fixed and free from disturbance,
Oh, yeah.
like a fire without flames or smoke.
Oh, yeah. So there you
That's how
go.
you
In a short
cook. That's
time.
the cooking fire.
Yeah. In a short time. In other words, you get over that threshold, and now you're cooking. Yeah.
You're cooking. When one's consciousness is uncontaminated by material lusty desires, it becomes calm and peaceful in all activities.
Hmm.
For one who is situated in eternal blissful life, once situated on that platform, one does not return to materialistic activities. Mara may not be able to appreciate this, but I'll tell her now. When they mentioned, we were waiting for the movie to start yesterday, and I think Timothy Tucker goes, "Yeah, and they've got vegan donuts over there." I was like, in my brain, I was like, "I'm not eating vegan donuts right now. I'm not eating." It was a big win for me, Mara. I just wanted you to know that because I would have been like sprinting to the vegan donut place. Good choices lead to good choices. Write that down. Okay. It's 55. Let's get some more. When one's consciousness is uncontaminated by
No, no.
material lusty,
Is it? Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
yeah.
Go ahead.
When one's consciousness is uncontaminated by material lusty desires, lust again, lust can be anything, can be lust for vegan donuts. It becomes calm and peaceful in all activities, for one is situated in eternal blissful life. Once situated on that platform, one does not return to materialistic activities.
But if one does.
One who accepts the sannyas order gives up the three principles of materialistic activities in which one indulges in the field of household life, namely dharma, artha, kama, right? Religion, economic development, sense gratification. One who accepts sannyas but then returns to such materialistic activities is called a vantasi,
Fantasi.
or one who eats his own vomit.
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna leave you with that picture in your mind. It means, and I think it's safe to say that if we're practicing a strong regimen of lifestyle, and you appreciate the joy of that regimented lifestyle, and then you go back to old practices, they say it's like you've given it up. You've given up which you knew that didn't satisfy you, which didn't feel good, which didn't make you be this best person, and then you go back and do the same thing
Regurgitate it.
again. They say the analogy is like once you throw it up, you throw up something you've eaten that's like you've eaten some bad, what's it called, like bad food, like food poisoning. Then you would eat that again. How disgusting is that? But
No.
that's what it is, falling down from our path.
Okay.
So we have to like get to the not just get to this level, but we've got to maintain it and polish it and improve it.
No, now he's saying some of those. He's the coach saying some of those things we don't want to hear.
Yeah, who wants to hear I'm eating my own vomit? Okay, we're at 57. I think we
Nobody
should
wants to
stop
hear
here.
that.
I don't want to hear it. Hi, Mara. Here, come on in the picture here, Miss Mara. Look at that kid is still sleeping back there.
What you got, Mayor?
All right.
How was it last night? We want to hear your perspective.
Oh, it was great. It's such a good movie, and that film footage from the pilgrimage, it's like we were all like right back in India bathing in the Ganga again. It was special.
We
Well,
just
it's
wanted
not
to
too
be
late to sign up for this fall, right?
yeah, yeah. Go to we're doing a last call right now. Yeah, the cinematography was very good, and you feel like I just want to be in India. I want to just go on pilgrimage.
Yeah. We need coaches in our life to reach our full potential.
Yeah.
Invite instruction from loving and trustworthy teachers.
Okay.
Even the mode of goodness is a trap.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hear about and cultivate spiritual life from a master.
That's the way you do it.
Keep Shastra and service to Guru at the center to transcend astrology and karma.
Go right on past it.
or palmistry.
Palmistry.
The power of God flows through the guru.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Right, what's right not doing?
All the rituals are meant to control the mind and senses so you can connect to the divine.
Mm-hmm.
Notice the wandering mind and change it.
Bring it back.
And
Who wants to be told they're eating their own vomit?
good choices lead to good choices.
Okay.
That is a good T-shirt, by the way. Thanks,
What's
everybody.
the other
Remember,
one?
we got a
What's
new
that other one? Nothing
platform.
happens unless something
Our-
happens with-
Our Wisdom of the Sages platform. It's a community-supported
Oh, the
podcast,
Sage
and you.
Community platform, brother. Sage community.
The what?
Sage community platform.
Let me try this again. Hey, everybody. WisdomoftheSages.com is our new website. We have a Sage community platform, our Wisdom of the Sages community platform. Join us. If you like what we're doing, support us. And it's a monthly support of whatever you choose. That's how this boat floats. Thanks to all the people that keep this going. We love doing it. We love being part of your life, and we love having you part of our life. So if you'd like to make a monthly contribution, you're more than invited to. And yeah, we do this wherever we go. We're in Massachusetts. We do it. We're driving down across the country. We do it. We're up in Nepal. We do it.
Do it.
We do it in India. We do it. But it's worth it. It's worth it for. We get something out of it too. We're actually enjoying the accountability of studying the Bhagavatam every day. Let's see everybody. Let me see everybody's beautiful face, Mara.